Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we have another ridiculous replay that you guys have sent in as part of the community replays for the channel. Now this one was sent in by Stern and he is obviously German, if I had to guess, because I'm pretty confident that this is German on the screen. Could be wrong, somebody's gonna have to let me know. It's the Land des Feurs, aka the Land of Fire, as you guys know. But we are going to spawn south of A, right? What I want you guys to pay attention to in this map is just the extreme... It's not just well played. It's just the extreme awareness and putting yourself in constant position to win the game. Like, everything he does in this match, I haven't actually watched it all the way through, but I've kind of seen some of the highlights. Everything that he does in this match is leading towards trying to win, right? A lot of us will get into habits of kiting away for too long if you have to. We saw this in the GK video. Obviously, he didn't have much of a choice in the GK because, I mean, gigantic ship versus literally everybody on the enemy team. You gotta kite away sometimes. And this will be no different. This match, you will have to kite away occasionally. But as a match in the Napoli can be extremely powerful. It can also be extremely, well, extremely easy to get rid of if it screws up. But it is very, very nasty. It is a super cruiser. It has long range, albeit slow torpedoes. And you get, you know, decent angles on those torpedoes, which definitely come into play. This thing will sneakily torp your butt right back into oblivion, so don't play around with it. Now, you're going to see a lot of armor piercing being used, and I love to see that. Like, I hate when I see a bunch of people spamming nothing but HE. Like, there are cruisers and stuff, I get it, that pretty much need to use the HE all the time. But watch this opening salvo on the Yama. Yama's open, full broadside, begging for it. We aim high, trying to land those shells up high on the side of the ship. 6,800 damage at like max range. Colbert comes out, full broadside, begging for it. Our destroyer, our other cruiser opens fire on him as well. We open fire. He's turning away. Is he going to get slapped? Yeah, not quite. Not quite. He gets turned away just enough to avoid getting lapped back into oblivion. And the Colbert obviously can't really focus down cruisers all that well at medium to long range. But look at his paying attention. Like, as much as he would love to shoot the Colbert, as much as he sees the Yama out there taking shots at him, he's paying attention to the minimap. He knows where people are located. He knows who his biggest threats are. And honestly, being broadside to a Burgoon, which you know has a reload booster, is a bad idea. But look at him. Uses the smoke, disappears, so he's not the one that the Burgoon's going to be able to target, right? This is all part of getting yourself into a decent position. Now, the Yama is just kind of putting along, angled slightly away. We've got a Temeraire over here as well. You don't see a lot of Temeraires, but they're almost guaranteed to be shooting AG out of a Temeraire. So you got to be careful there. He's measuring up with torpedoes to see what he's planning on doing. He's pulling up just enough. Unfortunately, front guns did not clear. The smoke, unfortunately, also didn't follow him any further. He overran his smoke a little bit. And now he is full broadside in front of a Burgoon. And I'll be honest, like, this is death staring you in the face. Even if it's only 15-inch guns, the Burgoon is fully capable of sending you back to port in a hurry, especially with a reload booster. Now, we sent some shells downrange at the Burgoon. Again, not a lot of damage there, unfortunately. And this is one of those situations where switching to HE is perfectly a valid thing to do. Now, his teammates are getting a little too crazy here. They're just rushing straight up in there. You can see the AP actually slapping the Burgoon a little bit. As the Burgoon opens the angle, or if he just gives you a little bit more of the superstructure to hit, like, you're going to be able to do some significant damage. And there's torpedoes coming in on Burgoon as well. If they land, he's going to be in trouble. And it looks like the torps actually run out right as they get to the Burgoon, which is unbelievably unlucky. But it does happen from time to time. And unfortunately, our Saint Louis go down, and our battleship is about to as well, leaving our intrepid hero, Temp 687078, to defend this entire flank by himself. But not just that, he's also trying to capture the base. Now, Burgon goes down. That's going to allow him, hopefully, to go dark. But there is a Stalingrad out here, and the Stalingrad is full broadside. Unfortunately, we have AP loaded. But you also see the Carnot out there. We get some HE loaded against the Stalingrad. We only land one shell. And that's the one thing I will say about this ship occasionally, is that it just doesn't, it's not as consistent as I would like for a super cruiser. But I guess you can't have every shot land where you want it to. That being said, if you give this thing a broadside, you deserve every bit of what's coming. And this Carnot is about to find out. There's 4 full pins, taking us up to over 10,000 more damage in that one salvo. Didn't Citadel him, unfortunately, but we did slap the crap out of him to make him think twice. The Stalingrad actually gets around the corner, which is perfect for us because we can still shoot him. He's still over-angled. If we can get a solid pin here, we could potentially Citadel him at this range relatively easily. And there it is. Double Citadels. Pretty solid hit. You love to see it. That's exactly what we're talking about. Like, you cannot underestimate your opponent. Now, we did send some torpedoes in the direction of that Carnot, thinking he was going to come out and chase our friendly battleship. But he doubles back, and now it's just a Temeraire. The Yama's still out here somewhere. You got to be careful. We're also sonared, which tells me that the enemy, what do you call it? Freaking Colbert is still here, and you can see his last known was coming around the corner behind us. So we got to be careful here. Also, Temeraire is fully capable of depth striking you, going broadside, getting this torpedo strike off. Now, obviously, you've got the better potential kill here, right? Like, his turrets are pretty slow. He does survive. He gets the rear turret off to finish him off, getting the depth strike, and now he is broadside to a DPM cruiser, which is not ideal. Now here, I wonder if he's going to use a smoke screen to break contact from that Colbert just long enough to get his turrets rotated. He fires the rear turret of Justice, and he slaps the crap out of that Colbert. Remember, Colbert is basically a floating depth strike waiting to happen if it's broadside. If he goes bow in, that's a different story. He's got the DPM to absolutely murder the Napoli. There is no question. But you can see he's requesting support. He does go ahead and use his sonar, or his smoke, to get away. He actually citadeled the Colbert again, probably through the booty if I had to guess. But he manages to get away. He is actually still being hit, which is a testament to the Colbert. The guy's got the DPM to just keep slinging rounds out, and he was landing hits even after we went dark. But now we are turned back in towards the Colbert. Colbert is turning out, which is opening the angle, which should be a death sentence for this Colbert. We're hoping we don't get set on fire. There's the double Citadel to finish him off. Now, we got to be careful. There's a Carnot right behind us at 7 kilometers. We know that the Yama is behind the island, directly behind us. The Carnot gets slapped by our battleship, which it was perfect timing, because we're in trouble otherwise. We're trying to get our turrets turned back around to shoot the Carnot here. Will we get the shot? And yes, and the Carnot is not paying attention. He's so focused on the battleship that he does not realize that we're here. And down he goes, and that gives us our 3rd kill of the game. Now, right now, both teams have a single cap. So right now, I would hope, being low on health, despite having 2 more heals coming, being low on health, I would expect him to turn around and get back into the alpha cap, right? That would be what I personally would do. Get the cap. Get that base control. Get the points going in your favor. Now, he is targeting the Schlieffen, which is fair enough. And you can see it does look like he's actually thinking about turning around to go back for the base to get that base cap. But he's going to do some damage in the process. But he's got to also be careful. He only has 21,000 hit points. He is healing a little bit here, but he is going to get detected if he's not careful. And that means that a Yama and a Schlieffen potentially has a chance. Now, he goes for a widespread shot into the Yama from torpedoes. The Yama's current course is going behind that island, so I don't know that this is going to really do him any good. And if he fires his guns right now, he will be spotted by the Schlieffen. Not the scariest thing in the world, because you know that Schlieffen's got bigger fish to fry right now. But you still don't want to trade any more hit points right now if you can help it. And if he just waits a little bit longer, he can get behind this island before he fires, and that will keep him from being detected. So what does he do? He waits. He doesn't fire right away. He's almost in the cap. That is exactly what he should be doing. Getting into the cap, getting that base points, and then once he's behind the island, he slows down. He's trying to stop. He's going to be able to shoot from cover. Not a very good first shot there. It happens. We all do it sometimes. Underestimate how fast the enemy is going. In this case, the enemy is going much slower than we expected, so we end up hitting the turrets rather than hitting the superstructure. Now, the Schlieffen goes full broadside here. We are capable of citadeling the Schlieffen, I believe, at this range. So if he gets a good shot into the belt at that flat broadside Schlieffen, there is a possible citadel opportunity here. I don't know for sure that we can citadel it, but it should be at least a big hit regardless. So good shot. Unfortunately, Schlieffen turns away just enough that we hit the belt at an angle, and that is going to be a ricochet or shatter. In this case, 3 shatters. So here he does adjust his aim. He aims a little higher. He doesn't want to hit the belt again. He knows that he won't pin it. So instead, he aims high, gets up into that upper side plating. You can see still 2 shatters, but 2 full pins, 1 overpin, and we did some good damage there. Yama is very close to being dead. I didn't see if we actually landed the torpedo hit there, to be honest. I don't think we did. I think the Yama stopped short of the island, so we wouldn't have been able to hit him with a torp there. But Schlieffen is pushing around the island over here. This game is in the enemy's favor right now, but it is a 3 versus 3, and we have 2 caps. Not to mention, we have a Napoli, which is going to be able to come around the corner and hopefully catch this Yama slipping. The Yama seems to be paying attention, so he seems to be aware of the fact that there's a ship potentially coming around the corner on him. But he could also just be angling to get more guns on target on the other side, on those battleship and the destroyer over there. As we come around the corner, though, we could easily punch the cheek. He actually aims at the armor belt here, which is a big no-no. Okay, I don't care what ship you're in. Do not aim at the armor belt of an angled Yama. 9 times out of 10, that will end in your immediate betrayal, okay? But this time we get very lucky. He was very low on hit points, and we got enough shells to pin that we actually finished him off. In that case, if you ever come around a corner and see a Yama like that, go through the cheek. Go shoot in front of the front turret, through the cheek on the bow side plating. It's thinner armor, and you're able to citadel him through that cheek, especially at these ranges. Schlieffen's secondary is going crazy. Now, this is going to be a fight. You do not want to be in this situation where you're tackling a enemy Schlieffen at close range in a cruiser. I don't care what cruiser you have, despite how tanky this ship can be, this is a very, very bad situation, and we do not have any more smoke screens, unfortunately. Now, we do avoid the torpedoes of the enemy destroyer, and here we aim high, going for the superstructure pins. We're going to have to... We know that we don't get overmatched, or maybe we do, I can't remember, from the enemy Schlieffen. Schlieffen does have 16-inch guns, but I can't remember what the bow armor of the Napoli is. But I do believe it's pretty decent. He goes for a home run here and tries to get more torps on, and I would say that that would be a misplay, to be perfectly honest. But he does pick up the Kraken. You got to pay attention to your torpedoes. Committing to that extra turn there could have been a disaster for his team. You know that there's a destroyer left in the smoke screen. And I'm not saying this to hate on him. He did mention that he considers himself not a very good player. I disagree. I mean, we're over 200,000 damage, and you've played a very great game up to this point, doing everything right. But you know, I like to point out little situations that we could potentially learn from as well. This enemy destroyer is playing like a moron right now, shooting your guns, sitting in a smoke screen while you know there's a cruiser nearby. I don't care what destroyer you're in. This is a bad idea. And so he sits around too long. The destroyer, or the cruiser, is able to catch up to him. He's already got his HE loaded, so he gets a good chunk, but he doesn't even get a third of his health. So this is dangerous. And what does the Sumner do? The Sumner decides to go, yeah, I think I'm just going to YOLO rush this cruiser, who has torpedoes as well, and we happen to get our torpedoes back just in time. He launches widespread from close range, and he lands 2 out of the 4, and that is plenty to kill the destroyer. So a great game from Stern. I appreciate you sending this in. I hope you guys enjoyed. 223,000 damage. Confederate high caliber 2 dev strikes. We have the Dreadnought, and we have a Kraken Unleashed. 4,300 base XP with 6 kills. Doing everything he can to carry his team to a victory. Like I said, not pointing out the mistakes there at the end. just to point out mistakes. I promise. I like people to learn from them. And in that sense, he should have been able to recognize that his torpedoes were going to hit. The Schlieffen had already committed to the outward turn. So you're going to land those torpedoes. You're going to kill. And even if you don't kill, you've still got your guns there. I would rather not see you open up the angle and give the Schlieffen a chance to take you out. Because every time you open up, you're asking for somebody to potentially citadel you in that cruiser, or any cruiser, or even a battleship for that main. So just little things like that. But otherwise, a perfectly played game that I can't find anything wrong with. It was a fantastic replay. Thank you so much, Stern, for sending it in. Make sure we let him know down in the comments below if he comments. I'll try to pin him down there and let him know how much you guys enjoyed the replay. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.